Looking at our world from a theological perspective. This is the Theology Central Podcast, making theology central.
Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, November the 22nd, 2022. It is currently 6:08 p.m. Central Time, and I'm coming to you live from the Theology Central studio, located right here in Abilene, Texas. How do you feel about church camps? Do you have any problem with church camps? You have no problem. Your church every summer, every year, they're like, okay, we're going to be sending the kids to camp. And you're like, that's wonderful. That's great. That's what we're supposed to do. You help raise money. You give money. You pay the money. You get your kids off to church camp because you're hoping that this is going to be the year where, I don't know, some great spiritual change happens. And you think church camp is a great ministry for your church. You support it. You're behind it. And if your church was to say, we're no longer sending our kids to camp, you would get very upset and you would be saying, we've got to find a camp for the kids. How important is church camp to you? Now, for me personally, and I know this is going to put me in the minority of the minority of the minority of the minority of the minority. In fact, I would be surprised if anyone actually agrees with me. My view about church camps they are horrific, they are horrible, and I would never send any child to a church camp under any circumstances. I wouldn't send mine, I wouldn't send yours, I wouldn't send any in my church. I would not send any child to a church camp because I believe church camp is nothing more than a place where children are isolated, indoctrinated, and emotionally manipulated. That's all I think that goes down there. They're isolated, right? We're gonna separate them from everything, and they say that it's a wonderful thing. We're gonna make sure you're not using your phones. You're cut off from all of the distractions, okay? And they say it like it's a spiritual thing. We're gonna isolate you, and then we're going to indoctrinate you, and the indoctrination occurs through emotional manipulation, where you tell sad stories and emotional stories, and by the end of camp, all the kids are up at the altar crying and hugging, and they're gonna rush hell with a water gun until they get back home, and then 4 weeks in, they have a spiritual crash, and I can't stand it. Now, I know I'm going to get some pushback. Some of you went to church camp, and you have wonderful stories to tell, and it's amazing, and it's beautiful, and I am very happy for you if that's occurred. I still did not send my children to church camp, never sent anyone in my church to church camp, and I don't support it in any way, shape, or form. I just don't. If the kids want an extensive week of Bible teaching and theology, then I have no problem going up to the church every summer, opening up the doors Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they can drop the kids off at 8 in the morning and they can pick them up at noon, and we'll do multiple hours of intensive Bible study, right? They'll bring notebooks, I'll get the reference tools, and we're going to spend this summer working through Leviticus, all right? And you're going to get assignments, we're going to study hermeneutics, we're going to do Bible study methods, or we're going to work through one of the creeds, or we're going to work through the 7 ecumenical councils in church history. We'll work on the doctrine of the Trinity, and it'll be very interactive, and they'll be doing work. It'll be like, I don't know, school. We're not here to entertain you. We're here to, equip you. That would be my approach. But obviously, no one likes my idea. They think that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. The kids want to go off and supposedly have fun while they're being emotionally manipulated. All right, but that's besides the point. That's just my view on church camps. But I wanted to say that because I'm getting ready to be very critical, but I wanted it to be very transparent that I already have a built-in bias. All right, but irregardless of my built-in bias, I do want this. I need the listeners of this podcast to go full-blown detective for me, and we need to find some information. I want to find out exactly what is being taught to the kids who attend a specific church camp. This church camp is put on by the International House of Prayer of Kansas City. The International House of Prayer, IHOP of KC, or IHOP KC, IHOP, International House of Prayer of Kansas City. Summer at IHOP KC is all about Jesus, faith, friends, and fun. And with our various camps for ages 6 through 18, there is sure to be an option for your children to join us. Don't let the summer go by without your children taking special time to seek Jesus together with other kids their age. We've seen the Lord fascinate young people for him through attending camps because he can't do it outside of the camp. I mean, you got to pay $400 to get your kid to camp because God can't impress them any other way. But that's a whole different story. He changes hearts He changes their hearts and empowers them by his spirit and truth. This is even more important in these difficult and changing times. Our camps are all about partnering with God and families to raise up the next generation of wholehearted lovers of Jesus. Find out what could mean for your young ones this summer. And it says, learn more. And you click on learn more. And we get the first camp. The first camp is for ages 6 through 12, and it is called, and I am not making this up, Signs and Wonders Camps. We are committed to raising children that know God, love him wholeheartedly, and demonstrate his power to others. Our high energy Signs and Wonders camps are open to ages 6 through 12. We also have the little edition camps for ages 4 through 5. Have your children join us for a fun and impactful summer that equips them to minister to their families, churches, and community with the love and power of our Lord Jesus Christ. Now, are they going to supposedly teach these kids how to do signs and wonders? Now, if this is true, if I'm understanding this correctly, the utter spiritual, psychological damage that would be happening to children in this is, I can't even measure. It's immeasurable. This is like, I am just baffled by this. It says, learn more. It says Signs and Wonders Camp. All right. Training children to be wholeheartedly devoted to God. Our vision is to see 1 million children radically committed to Jesus, experiencing the power of the Holy Spirit and moving in signs and wonders. They're going to teach children how to supposedly do signs and wonders. Oh, man. Okay. You know, I loathe the charismatic movement with every ounce of my being, and I am trying to maintain my calm right here. All right. They want children who know they are loved by God and who will do great exploits for him. Children develop a love for the word of God and grow an understanding of death, resurrection, and second coming of Christ. And please note, these are like kids like 6 years of age who are supposedly now going to be walking around doing, I guess, miracles. We teach them to heal the sick, reach the lost, prophesy, and pray for other children. So supposedly you're going to have children who are supposedly healing people and prophesying. Oh, man, the charismatic movement is a bankrupt. I'm telling you, the charismatic movement is crazy. Camp 1 will only cost you $435. $435. Yeah, because that's, hey, you want to teach children how to heal other people, but you can't do that unless they get $435, right? Because, you want to teach children how to prophesy. You want to teach them how to heal people, but, you got to give them $435 for your kid can learn how to do that. Camp 2 is $435. Camp 3 is only $380. And I see here, it gives us camp info. It gives us our directors. These directors, I almost want to give their names, but I'm sorry. What you're doing to children here is utterly, I think it's, I don't even have words for it. I think it's straight evil. This is just total spiritual abuse. I have some serious problems with this. All right. So there's the money. There's what we have, but guess what we don't have? We don't have directly what's being taught. So what we need is we've got to figure out how to find out exactly what is being taught in the Signs and Wonders camp from IHOP KC. I don't know how to find this. I don't know how to obtain this. I don't know if someone can create a Facebook group for IHOP Signs and Wonders Camp and ask people whose kids have gone there, do you have anything from the curriculum? Now people will get mad, but I want it to be exposed. I want to know how you're teaching a child, like, hey, you're 6, I'm going to teach you how to heal people. Now, if your mom gets cancer and dies, well, it's your fault, little Johnny, because you should have been able to heal your mom. What, you're going to take little Johnny to the children's cancer hospital and heal people? Like, what is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? But it's called Signs and Wonders Camp, IHOP KC. Look, if you can find any information, if we can have video of what's being taught, if we can get curriculum, I want to expose it. Well, I have no patience. I have no tolerance for charismatic theology. I think it's abhorrent. I think it's horrific. I think it's horrible. The damage it's done to people. It's constant, incessant teaching that healing is guaranteed by the atonement right now here on this earth, and that you can be healed. It's God's will for everyone to be healed. And basically, if you're not healed, it's your fault. Or I guess it's the 6-year-old who didn't learn well enough how to heal people at camp. And again, between the ages of 6 and 12. Yeah, 6 and 12. Those kids are having a hard enough time figuring out life, and they're going to be now being taught how to supposedly prophesy. Can you imagine? Oh, man, just... Oh man. This is the kind of stuff that for some weird reason was allowed to be associated with Christianity that makes me not want to be associated with Christianity. I almost want to find a new name. Like, oh, you're one of those whacked out people who tries to teach a 6-year-old how to heal people. Yeah, you're one of the, no, I'm not associated with that. I have nothing to do with that. That is not Christianity. That is some abhorrent, mutant, crazy thing that I don't know why it was ever allowed to be a part of Christianity, but that is not Christianity. But it's called Signs and Wonders Camp, IHOP KC. We need more information. I know this. We need more information. See, if this was a camp for adults, I would try to get one of our listeners to go to the camp, right? And then they could report back to us everything that occurred. But I'm not going to say, hey, do you have a 6-year-old nearby? All right, I need your kid to be our spy, and we need him to go. Okay, I would not do that to any child. But man, what in the world? Is it just me, or is this common? Like, hey, some of you ex-charismatics, or if you're listening to this and you're very pro-charismatic, is this common? Because if it is, give me information, because someone sent this to me and I was like, what? And no, that cannot be what it sounds like. It cannot be what it cannot be what that sounds like. And it appears that it's very close to what I think it sounds like. So let me know. Does it only bother me? It should bother all of us. But I wanted to at least turn on the microphone and throw this out there. I'm interested to see the reactions. I could go into more detail, but I wanted to just do this relatively quick. One, I've got food arriving soon. But you know, when your studio is just right upstairs, as soon as I had to finish other things today, and as soon as those things were over, I'm like, I'm going straight upstairs and turning on the microphone. That's the first thing I'm doing. Okay. Someone said, "Oh, it's bothersome." Okay, well, that's the. Look, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I'm trying to be calm because this just makes me just like burn with rage. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I understand that there's righteous indignation and there's fleshly anger, and there's probably a little mixture going on right here. I mean, but I wanted to be very transparent at the beginning. I already can't stand all church camps. So I'm not a fan of any church camp because I believe the children are being manipulated, and I believe it does more damage to them than good. This takes it to a level that I didn't even think was humanly possible. I didn't think any rational thinking adult would say, let's take a 6-year-old and teach them that they supposedly now have the power to heal people. Hey, the kid probably couldn't even bother to explain to you the deity of Jesus Christ, probably would have a hard time even truly expressing the gospel. But let's forget all of that. Let's not catechize the child. Let's teach the child that now he has the power of God to heal people and to prophesy. The kid probably couldn't explain one doctrine, probably wouldn't even know the basic questions to the Westminster Shorter Catechism or the Puritan Catechism or Luther's Catechism or any catechism. Probably couldn't even explain anything, but he supposedly is walking around healing people. Again, what happens to that kid when he sees people around him get sick and die? His grandparents or what? Hey, sorry, Johnny, you stink at this. Or no, it wasn't your fault, Johnny. It's your grandparents' fault because they didn't have enough faith. Like, how does that go down? And then they're prophesying? The kid's prophesying. Yeah, that's oh boy, that's I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But the person who commented, thank you very much. She's the one who sent it to me, and I'm very grateful she did. I'm very upset that this exists, but we need to try to find. I want to know what is actually taught in these camps. I want to know. I want to see the curriculum. I wanted to have it in my hands, and we can do a full-blown series on here is day one in the camp. Here's what's taught here. Maybe it's not near as bad as I think it is. Maybe it's far more biblical than I'm giving it credit. I doubt it, but I am aware that I'm coming from a position of ignorance other than what they say. But what they say and what I've read to you is troubling enough. But if we can find it, if we can get our hands on it, if we could do so, then that would be great. You would hope. I wonder if we emailed them, they would be willing to let us see the curriculum. And if they wouldn't let us see it, wouldn't that be questionable? Wouldn't that make you a little concerned that you're teaching 6 to 12-year-olds, but you won't let anyone see what you're teaching them? Oh man, just parents, just keep your kids out of church camps, of all church camps, okay? They need extra biblical teaching in the summer, then teach them. Have your church do something like actually teach them, catechize them, do something. If your kids need some fun for the summer, they can do something far better than being manipulated by Christians who want to emotionally manipulate your child and do irreversible spiritual damage. Okay, maybe not irreversible as far as God. Okay, we could get into a whole discussion. Irreversible from a human perspective. I'll say it that way. Okay, that's however God would possibly fix it is beyond my understanding. Oh man. Okay, I'm just going to take a deep breath, and we'll take a little bit of time. I'm going to get some food, and then we'll try to do some things this evening. All right, we got to follow up on our today's focus podcast, and we'll just see. We'll see what the reaction is to this. Hopefully there's someone out there who's like, oh, I got the info. I got it all. Now I'll have to verify the truthfulness of what you have, but if we can verify that it is from the camp, it would be. We just got to be able to find out. We got to be able to find out. I can't imagine being a child raised in a charismatic home. I just can't be. I can't be. I can't even really comprehend an adult living through. I don't understand the charismatic world. I don't. I have a hard enough time with Christianity just normal, because sometimes I think we're so irrational and illogical, and we can't acknowledge the reality around us. Like we won't acknowledge the reality. And charismatics, I just think, live like I don't even understand it. I'm just, man, you're going to do this to children 6 to 12 years of age. I wonder what these kids even think when it's over. I don't know. All right. You can email me, newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com. That's newsif@yahoo.com. Can't wait to hear your thoughts or what you know about this or what we can find. Let's investigate this together. And then I got no problem just I would love to have the curriculum just laid out in front of me. Like, okay, here is day one at Signs and Wonders camps for children 6 to 12, and just go literally line by line through everything. Here's their worksheet. Here's their exercise. Here's what they do. And literally just walk everyone through the curriculum. Now, when it's done, then you could say, I think that's wonderful and great. I'm sending my kids, and that can be great. Or you could be like, oh, that's horrifying. But $430? Man alive. Christianity and money. Yeah. Okay. I was getting frustrated today. I'm starting to get those emails. It's Thanksgiving. It's time to be thankful for all that God is doing in our world. And if you're thankful for our ministry, send us $50. And I'm like, so we're going to use the time of Thanksgiving for you to get an opportunity. I don't know. There's so much things that Christianity does I don't understand. I do understand the need for money. I do understand the need for money as a ministry, but just like we want to use Thanksgiving and we want to use Christmas to we want to find a way to utilize it that people will give us something. Like it's Thanksgiving and Christmas, and ministers are out there trying to figure out, how can I use this opportunity for them to give us money? It just seems like, is that a misuse of the holidays? I don't know. That's a whole podcast in and of itself. In fact, that's what I was going to come up here and talk about, but the Signs and Wonders thing took precedent over everything. So, all right, newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com. I'm going to go find some food. Everyone have a great evening. God bless.